False.
Podcasts. So you'll probably notice that this will be, they're not live, but they're not uploaded as we do them. I'll explain it later, but sorry, how's your week?
Yeah, brother. It's been good. Just as I was driving home today, I was like, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to hanging out with my also, having a quick chat, getting this thing turning over. You know, we're speaking about quite a few things today.
I know we'll probably get onto that later on, but what's sort of been a standout highlight for you, just in your personal daily walk, I guess, in daily life with you? What's sort of a highlight for you? What's sort of something that sort of stood out for you this week so far?
This week, it's been a quick week. We're at Thursday.
Wednesday.
See, there we go.
Bro,
we go, bro.
It's funny, man. Eh? Time just goes so fast.
Yeah, I think last time we were talking about my anniversary, you know, and then we were out on the weekend. We had lunch. Sick, yeah, it's lunch, man.
So good, man. Navala, it's a Brazilian barbecue joint in Brisbane. I think they've got one in Gold Coast, I'm not too sure, but at the Riverside Centre in Eagle Street in Brisbane, outstanding.
100%. Shout out to them, man.
Friends of the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you let a good feed from there. So from the weekend, man, it was that was probably the highlight, I guess. You know, went away with the wife and we spent time together, and we just talked about a lot of things that we're talking about today. So yeah, that's the highlight for me. Then you come back to work. You know, it is what it is. You get back into the grind.
I think one thing that we've spoken about, and I think is forever a day is long, and as far as we've known each other, we've always spoken about sort of getting out on our own, and doing things for our family, and sort of using our strengths and our intellect, our skill set to build wealth for our families, and instead of using it, you know, our companies that we work for, you know, using it, you know, which is fine, you know, that's our choice, what we've chosen to do. But I think now that we're going to take that choice and that leap to sort of try and to do things for ourselves.
Yeah, no, we spoke about, you know, the blessings that we've got now, you know, just sitting out there, lounging out in your garage, just having a quick feed. It just brings back those, you know, when you're sitting there, you're just appreciating the moment, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So sitting out there, appreciating the moment. This is what we're talking about. It's just our journey, and a big part of that is our God. You know, we speak about this all the time, man. Like, you know, if it wasn't for God, where we are, you know, if it wasn't for our Jesus Christ, where would we be? And it's just that part of the journey. We've always had Him there, and this is what we want to speak about, and just to put out to, you know, other young men of our generation, that, man, we've got a blueprint that we've come through, and we've sort of, like, over the years, just being with God has probably helped us put us on the right path.
Yeah, 100%.
There's many times, man, I'm not going to bring it up here, but yeah, some of the paths we went down, it's like, man, that's a dead end road, brother, but we still headed down there.
You know, and no matter what your beliefs are, you know, for us, you know, it's Jesus is our, you know, it's our faith. He's our rock, you know, and we can't go by without stuff that, you know, the good stuff that's happened. And, you know, we've done it, but, you know, He's provided, you know, the avenue or the way to get there, you know. So 100%, mate, it's you know, the blueprint's there, you know, we've followed it, and, you know, we're not perfect, no means whatsoever, you know. It's just that we know who the man is, who the king is. Amen, that one. Yeah. 100%. Always lead you the right way. A lot's been happening in the world, mate. Obviously, at this time here, I don't know how far we'll be before we post this up, but the stuff that's happened in the States with Charlie Kirk and the assassination and stuff. And what are your thoughts on that? Obviously, you know, he sort of espoused the same views and beliefs that we've got. What is your thoughts, or what is your sort of takeaways from, I guess, the responses to his assassination and murder?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Charlie Kirk, man, I followed him through social media, you know, and I loved for like what he stood for. He preached the name of Jesus. You know, he's just one of those guys. What I found authentic about him was he he had those open conversations, right? He'd get up there, he'd go to college campuses, and he'll just want that open dialogue. So he wasn't there just to preach or just to say this is the way it is. He just said, look, come sit with me, let's have a conversation, let's talk about these things. To see him taken out, that for me spiritually, man, that got me, That got me, because it's one of ours. And I guess one of the things I was searching for as well when that happens, like, well, Lord, that's one of our people, man. Like, he just got publicly executed. For me as like Christian, I think, well, we should be protected. That's the way you think. But God's always got a bigger plan than us.
Yeah.
He's got a bigger plan. And as I went through a few things, I saw a video of one of these guys that was talking about, the shot heard around the world, which is Charlie Kirk. And it has its hit all four corners, It's gone right around the world. And what he was speaking about was like the coming of Jesus. It's close. It's close. And this shot that was done on Charlie Kirk, it's now separating the wheat from the weeds. You see all these like posts up on there where sort of like people are laughing about it. All the demonic stuff, like who celebrates someone's death, right? Regardless of who it is.
And for those that sort of are not familiar with the spirit realm and stuff, even if you don't understand it, someone laughing about someone's demise, or someone's murder or killing or death is a bit strange.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It is.
It's very, very, very weird.
But looking at it, you start seeing the nature of the world. It's taking a turn. It's flipped from all this crazy stuff with men going to women's toilets, the transgenderism, all this stuff that's sort of flipped on its head. Now it's more conservative Christian views where people are getting cancelled. You probably heard about a lot of people losing their jobs, getting fired. Even a lot of the left are sort of now like, that's probably too far. And that just speaks to me where God's saying, well, now it's starting to separate the weeds from the wheat, for the coming. But it's there's two sides to it, that's opened up a lot of eyes in this world. But it's also a sad thing, when you look at it from a family's perspective, young family. Young dude, he was only like 31?
31, 32, father to 2 or 3 kids, I think he was.
That's it. And even at his age, man, like he was just doing things for the world,
He was, he was very outspoken, and like you said, he sort of espoused the beliefs and the views that we had and that we believe in and stuff. And I always used to go onto YouTube and enjoy watching his debates and stuff, because it wasn't him, he wasn't mocking the other people, but he really was very thoughtful in the way that he spoke and the way that he debated with people, even guys that gave him a bit of shit because he believed in Jesus and all the rest of it. He still had a very thoughtful talk and a debate with him, and a lot of people say they don't believe anything that he was saying and stuff. That's purely fine, but the way that he spoke and the way that he debated with those students on the college campus was really, really good and very thoughtful too. A lot of people miss that. I think with the internet now, they sort of clip a lot of stuff, and you sort of see the back end of things, the start or the end of it. You don't actually see the full context of the video or the view. But if you actually sit down and watch it and see it, you'll actually see that, man, hey, this guy's all right, and he was pretty smart as well,
100%.
Didn't go to college, apparently.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. I think he was going for the younger generation. But much love to Charlie Kirk and his family, man. Love to you guys.
Yeah, 100, yeah. So that sort of dominated the socials for a bit there for the past couple of weeks, and there was big focus on that around the world. But I think we'll shift to the focus to Australia and probably something that's really close to us as well as God and Jesus made is the rugby league.
I was going to say the elephant in the room, mate. I think last week we gave it to the Sharkies. My Sharkies, mate. Called them out, and that's what I get.
The Sharks, mate, have shocked a lot of people except for the Cronulla supporters. They are playing some really good football. and it's good to see. It's good to see a friend of the podcast and a very close relative of mine. No, only joking. Adam Fanua-Blake, the Tongan international.
Surely.
Really coming to the fore now. I mean, we were just speaking about it before that. During the season, he was sort of in and out games, but in the last sort of few weeks, he's really shown himself and really become a prominent force on the field for the Sharkies.
100%. I think for the last 3-4 seasons, he's probably been like easy top 3 for me. Top 3, top 5 forward prop in the game, man. That guy is just a beast. Like I said with the Warriors, you know, he was with them. He made a big impact there. They went to finals, you know. Yeah, what a beast, man.
100%. And I heard the way that he got signed by Cronulla was that Craig Fitzgibbon, the Sharkies coach, reached out to Andrew Fifita and said, mate, you got to, obviously because they had that connection with the Tongan team, he said to Andrew Fifita, he said, mate, you got to go over to New Zealand and get this guy because we need him.
Yeah.
And Andrew Fifita flew over to New Zealand, and apparently that's where the deal was done. Come back with the signature of Adam Fanua-Blake. So there you go. That's how the Sharkies got AFB.
What a signing.
100%. Absolutely. And they actually did a job on the weekend. What were your thoughts on the game?
I didn't actually watch that one, man.
No?
I didn't watch that one. I missed that one.
Yeah.
Well, I did watch the other one, yeah.
Which one was that?
Yeah, with that Dr. Usos on it. You know, our Mighty Bulldogs.
Yes. Well, it was one of those games. I think everyone knew that Canterbury weren't going to be in the game. It was just one of those games that you were up against a red hot Penrith side, and a lot of people believe that, you know, didn't matter who it was. It could have been, you know, Brisbane or Cronulla or anyone on that day. You know, they wouldn't have been able to.
They weren't crossing those guys.
They wouldn't touch the Panthers. Yeah.
So when you see that look in Cleary's eyes, and he's like, "Nah, it's mine today." Hey, it's not going to happen. It's like he was leading that team up front, and they were just following. Like, let's go.
Do you think Cleary is? I'm going back to Origin because he hasn't sort of dominated the Origin arena or the international arena. Where would you hold Nathan Cleary? You know, where would you sort of have him up? You know, in terms of the greatest halfbacks that have ever played. Obviously, he is good, but yeah, where do you sort of hold him? And you're obviously a Queenslander as well. So do you sort of hold him in the same sort of in the same era or echelon as Andrew Johns or Jonathan Thurston?
Yep.
Or do you think he's above them?
Nah, 100%. He's up there with those two guys. 100%. He's there. You know, I think performance-wise, when you look at his Origin games, you know, what are we doing? One series out of a year? You know, and obviously he hasn't played his best, but I think our expectations of him to be at that level when he's playing that game is probably why we think because he doesn't play shit in those Origin matches. He just doesn't play to the top level that we expect. So 5 times or 4 times in a row going for 5, man.
Yeah,
if you're
5.
talking about consistency, and he's been there and he's led this team, and every year someone drops off. You know, he's lost Luai, he's lost Crichton, McGussin.
Yeah, he's lost you. Yeah, Critter's gone. Kiko's gone. Matt Burton.
Yep. So all these names drop off, and this guy's still carrying that standard across.
James Fisher-Harris.
Yep. So 100%, I'd rate him up there, and you know, there's still a bit of time. I wouldn't say he's going above those other two, but I reckon he's shoulder to shoulder with those guys, man.
Yeah,
shoulder to shoulder.
I think I agree with you, and you're right too when you sort of put it in that way. You know, it's only sort of one series during the year where over a course of a year, you know, he's putting in those performances consistently.
Yep.
And you know, if you can do that at a high level all the time, yeah, of course.
And I think when Origin, you know, that's when the pressure goes on these players to perform, right? And like I said, he's not having a terrible game. He just people just say he didn't turn up, but he just does his part of the job. And what we got to realise is it takes a whole team to win that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, 100%. I read him about that.
So Cronulla did Canberra minor premiers.
Yep.
got bundled out. I think it's the first time since 2009, St George were the last side.
Yep.
Were minor premiers, and they got bundled out in straight sets.
Yep.
Canberra did exactly the same thing. Canberra were, obviously they did well because the critics had them as getting the wooden spoon
Yep.
at the start of the year, but they've done well to obviously get the minor premiership and to make the final series, but got bundled out. What went wrong for Canberra?
Well, to me, I think they had their best game, that last one against Broncos. You know, was it a 90-minute game in the end? You know, the fatigue, it's sort of like, man, the recovery from that must have been like, I think I was just exhausted, man. Like, there was nothing left in the tank.
How was it? How many minutes was it? 104 or something? We'll have to check that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a massive game. Went to extra time.
Extra. So, you know, everyone gives everything. So I think, yeah, maybe that's what spurred them out. Then you had Cronulla resting, you know.
Ethan Strange was also a big out in the Cronulla game.
Yep.
Had influenza A, kicked on game day or something, so he wasn't able to play, and he was a huge out. One of the boys at work said that Canberra didn't have enough game breakers. You know, didn't have enough X factors in their team. And you know, looking at it, yeah, absolutely.